We've got 6 essential elements that need to be present for a contract to be legally enforceable. Think of it like baking a cake. Miss one ingredient, and the whole thing falls flat. First up, we've got offer and acceptance. It's like a legal dance. One party leads with an offer, and the other follows with acceptance. Both parties need to be in perfect sync. If one of you starts doing the cha-cha while the other's trying to waltz, you've got a problem. Next, we've got capacity of the parties. This isn't about how much you can bench press at the gym. It's about whether you're legally able to enter into a contract. Are you of sound mind? Are you of legal age? If not, well, you might as well be trying to sign a contract with your pet goldfish. It's not going to hold up in court. Third on our list is consideration. No, I'm not talking about being polite at the dinner table. In contract law, consideration is all about exchange. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. In real estate, it's usually money for property. But remember, it doesn't have to be equal, it just has to be something of value. Fourth, we need our contract to be definite and clear. Your contract needs to be as clear as a bell on a crisp winter morning. If it's as vague as your grandma's secret recipe, it's not going to cut it. All the details need to be spelled out. None of this "we'll figure it out later" business. Fifth, we need a lawful object. This one's pretty straightforward. Your contract can't be for anything illegal. No contracts for underground fight clubs or secret moon bases. Last but not least, we need genuine intention. Both parties need to actually want to enter into this contract. If someone's being forced or tricked, that's not going to fly. It's like trying to get married at gunpoint. It might make for a great movie scene, but it won't hold up in court. Now you might be wondering, what about deposits? Well, surprise. A deposit isn't actually one of the essential elements. It's often included in real estate contracts, sure, but it's not a make or break factor for the contract to be binding. So there you have it, the 6 essential elements of a binding contract: offer and acceptance, capacity, consideration, definite and clear terms, lawful object, and genuine intention. Miss any one of these, and your contract could be as wobbly as a house of cards in a windstorm. Next, let's take a closer look at each of these elements in more detail. First one is offer and acceptance. So picture this, we've got 2 main players in this contractual tango, the offeror and the offeree. The offeror is the one who's putting an offer out there, and the offeree is the one who's either going to accept it, reject it, or maybe throw a curveball with a counteroffer. Now, let's talk about the offer itself. It's not just a casual suggestion. An offer needs to be complete and definite in its terms. You can't just say, "Hey, want to buy my house," or whatever. It needs to be specific. And here's a key point, that offer needs to stay open for a reasonable time. You can't make an offer and then 5 seconds later say, "Too late, offer's gone." Well, you could, but it wouldn't be very reasonable, would it? Communication is key here, people. That offer needs to be communicated to the offeree. You can't just think really hard about making an offer and expect the other person to pick up on your brainwaves. And get this, you can make an offer to specific persons, corporations, or even to the public at large. It's like casting a wide net, but with legal consequences. Now, here's where it gets interesting. The offeror can revoke their offer prior to acceptance, but there are limitations. It's not a free-for-all. Once that offer is out there, you can't just yank it back willy-nilly. Let's move on to acceptance. This is where the offeree gets to shine. But remember, acceptance must be unconditional. You can't say, "Yeah, I accept, but let's change everything about the offer." That's not acceptance. That's a counteroffer, and it starts the whole dance all over again. And just like with the offer, acceptance needs to be communicated to the offeror. You can't just accept in your heart and expect it to be legally binding. It needs to be out there, loud and clear. And here's a pro tip, you can accept in the same manner as the offer was made. If they emailed you the offer, you can email back your acceptance. It's like mirroring in a conversation, but with legal implications. Now, let's talk about timing. Acceptance must occur before any specified time limit. If the offer says this offer is good until midnight, and you try to accept at 12:01 a.m., well, you're out of luck, my friend. Communication in this whole process is crucial. It needs to be done according to the agreement's terms. Typically, we're looking at personal delivery, fax, or email. And here's a fun fact: electronic communication is deemed received when it's transmitted. But don't let that stop you from following up to confirm receipt. It's always better to be safe than sorry in the contract world. So, what are the key takeaways here? First and foremost, mutual agreement is essential for contract formation. It's not a one-way street. It takes two to tango, and it takes two to form a contract. Remember, a contract forms when an offer is accepted. It's like a legal spark that ignites the contractual flame. But here's the thing: the offeree is free to reject or accept the offer. They're not obligated to say yes just because an offer is made. It's not like those street vendors who follow you down the block trying to sell you a knockoff watch. And I can't stress this enough: clear communication is crucial in both offer and acceptance. If you're not clear, you're asking for trouble. It's like trying to order at a drive-thru with a bad speaker. If you're not clear, you might end up with something you didn't want. So there you have it. The fundamental aspects of offer and acceptance in contract law. It's all about clear terms, proper communication, and timely response.